Hello Aries, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. We are going to do your bonus reading. We are going to be doing the he said she said game. So let's see what is going on for the divine feminine and the divine masculine. We'll go through the spread as following, starting off with the situation right now. What is going on for the divine feminine in the situation right now? All right. Starting off with the 10 of Pentacles and the 6 of Swords. And then we have actually way too many cards popping out. But this usually is showing that you feel like something is completed now. Okay, like there is some sort of inner sanctuary or inner balance that you are creating, perhaps by even distancing yourself a little bit. Maybe you've been a little bit into a lot of chaos lately and now you feel like calm, at peace, maybe inside your family, or like you're moving more towards your family and trying to let go of certain behaviors that really kept you stuck here, okay? What more? Yeah, 8 of Swords and the Page of Swords. But underlying, I do see you really having a lot of ruminating thoughts, okay? Like there's a lot of kind of like chaos in your mind. You don't have all the answers to the questions in your mind, and you keep on kind of like searching for meanings. You're searching for information or just something that can actually snap you out of your own mental captivity, right? Is that moment where you're like, I just want to know what the heck is going on so I can actually either move on or I can actually let it go by peace. But at the same time, I do feel like you are coming off as like emotionally detached. However, internally, you're absolutely not there yet, right? Like these are like the underlying energies that still keep you a little bit stuck in your mental loop. But then we have the 9 of Pentacles as well at the bottom of the deck, which is all kind of like talking about you doing a lot of things on your own, kind of like enjoying the time alone. For some of you, you may have recently gotten out of a relationship, long-term relationship, could have been a long-term commitment, okay? And now you're starting to have like a more, kind of like more freedom and free space and energy and time in your life. What's going on with the masculine energy here? Okay, we've got the Knight of Wands reversed, the 9 of Pentacles, and the 6 of Cups coming through. Okay, so you've been dealing with someone that's quite hot and heavy, in and out, on and off. Sometimes they're like very adventurous, very outgoing, very impulsive, but right now you sense them being a little bit withdrawn or being a little bit chaotic, not really know where they stand with you. And I do also feel like you're seeing them, you know, doing their own thing, enjoying their own life, being more independent rather than being more emotionally open, right? This person does have still emotions and feelings for you, but they do have like a tendency to lean towards like doing things individually rather than together, which could be the reason why you feel a little bit of that tension in the head, like, okay, is this person even still interested in me, or what is truly going on in this dynamic? Okay, let's see what else is going on. What's the blockage in this dynamic? See, the blockage is like no real communication in terms of where this is going. The 7 of Cups is like a constant state of like illusion, or like not really being sure what is going on. It's that constant energy of this, it could be this or it could be that. Like it could go both ways. Like maybe this person is just simply not interested, or maybe they have a lot on their mind. It's like filling the gaps for all the misinformation or the information that you don't have, right? So with the 2 of Swords is like your mind is just not sure where you stand. And this constantly piles up to more and more confusion here. Okay, and eventually it turns out to be very tensed energy. Like you're constantly tensed about like, okay, where's this, you know, am I excluded or am I abandoned? It's just like needing some sort of verification on where you stand so you can make some decision moving forward in your life. Right, so this constant ignoring and avoiding type of energy is just not providing for any reality check, right? Like that's what's really the biggest problem here. It's like you constantly need to figure it out on your own. And that's kind of like getting a little bit exhausting, right? Like mentally exhausting. What is their blockage? What's their biggest blockage? Also the Seven of Cups. So they're kind of like in the same state as you. Okay, that candle was acting weird. It was like pew, pew. Anyway, the Seven of Cups is as well. So they may be also feeling like there are a lot of options here. They don't know where they stand. They don't know how to move things forward. But there's also like an energy of like keep on holding back, not really expressing much in regards to their ideas, in regards to their emotions, right? They feel like they constantly need to defend themselves, protect their pride, protect their ego. But mentally, this person is also going quite hasty. So maybe they're trying to kind of like calm their irrational mind as well as their impulsivity sometimes, because they can come off sometimes a bit impulsive, which could lead to sadness, disappointment, right? So that's why they are trying to maintain a composure here. Okay. All right, let's see what else. What else? What are their intentions? Five of Wands. That's your intention. So you're kind of like ready to get into the battlefield. You're actually accepting that this is going to be quite a conflicting situation at hand, right? Like that's how you see it. You're like, okay, we got to go through that fire. We got to go through that conflict. We got to have this conversation that could be tense, but you're really preparing for it in the right way, actually. It's like, okay, let's just like go into it and try to figure out all these misconceptions and these miscommunications, because that's the only way to get to some sort of agreement or forward movement. But kind of like avoiding the situation as it is not going to lead anywhere. It's just going to stretch out like this whole dynamic of like, oh, I don't want to deal with this, or you know, I don't want to deal with this conflict right now. So it's kind of like a little bit of a understanding that there should not be like an avoidance here in this conflict. Yeah, it's like you feel very strongly that that tower needs to kind of like be stripped down, right? Like any misconceptions, like I said, the miscommunication or whatever is not working, because this current state obviously is not working, right? It's almost as if two people are very scared to rip off the band-aid, right? Like that's the type of energy that I am receiving. And it's like you're ready to actually strip down those illusions and see how you can actually fix it from a more pure ground. And then the Eight of Wands, the King of Cups, and the Seven of Wands is actually indicating that throughout this, you know, push and pull and like a little bit of a tension of disagreement, there could actually be like a flow of understanding and emotions, and things could actually, you know, be in a rapid phase moving forward eventually if both people could actually express their concerns, you know, express like, okay, this is what I really didn't like, or this. But if we don't really do that, then we constantly are in this one, in this battlefield, but secondly, there is always this defensive type of energy, right? So yeah, you're kind of like, I'm ready to go into the battlefield if that's what it takes, right? And then at least you would know if you would really need to, you know, let go of this illusion and move towards new love, or if there is anything to fix to begin with, right? So that's kind of like what you're expecting right now. How about their intentions? What are their intentions right now? Okay, the Four of Wands, so they are aware that things are quite unstable, that there is a, you know, mismatch in harmony right now. And the Three of Swords, of course. Three of Swords and the Page of, oh no, the Ace of Pentacles. Yeah. This is someone that's actually really aware of some things that happened here in the past that really, broke both people's heart. Could have been also a third party interference here where they are aware that it caused a lot of damage, it caused a lot of instability, especially if you were living together or there was like an established relationship, something got in the middle. And this heartbreak is still kind of like pending, it's still lingering. And the Page of Pentacles is indicating that they are aware that there needs a practical step moving forward. Now, the only pentacles that we were seeing in their spread was actually the Nine of Pentacles. So this is all about like self-control, independence, doing things on your own, working on your own freedom and liberation at this point. So they are aware that if they want to have like a stable foundation, they may really need to fix this heartbreak and go through this healing. However, it's like every time they think about it, it's just like bringing them more pain somehow. Okay. What's the outside influence for Aries right now? Okay, we got the Ten of Cups. I wanted to jump out. What's the outside influence? We got the Star, the Nine of Wands reversed, and the Two of Wands. Let me see, what's their outside influence? Ace of Wands. The Chariot. The Six of Swords. Eight of Cups and the Page of Pentacles. Well, Aries, honestly, your outside influence is actually pretty great, pretty coherent as well, because it actually shows that you do have a very big chance of succeeding in another connection, in another relationship here. And it's like you have the awareness that in order to succeed in another direction, you may really need to let go of the uncertainty and the confusion and perhaps, probably, maybe even this connection. It's like you need to make that, decisive decision to kind of like move towards a new direction, because there is absolutely a very healing and coherent relationship that's kind of like waiting, that's like kind of like pending. Now this could be like in actual form as well, like someone is around you and they are quite interested in you, however you were not making your decision here with the Two of Swords. You're just like still kind of like pending on the pending pending on the pending, right? So it's like Spirit is showing you that there is a clear direction towards a more emotionally fulfilling situation or commitment, relationship in your life. That could be also in other commitments, right? Could be also still your family, could be your friends, could be like just having like a more nervous system balanced type of life ahead, rather than constantly being stuck in confusion and the not knowing and the Two of Swords state, right? So you do have that option, you do have that possibility. However, the Nine of Wands in the reversed is saying that it will only come when you really get tired of like being in this state of the Seven of Cups and the Two of Swords. This needs to be an active decision. That's what I want to say. Because sometimes we make proactive decisions, right? Like to keep this option open, to keep the door open, to keep everything kind of like open. But when you don't make like a final decision yourself, the universe will also be like in this, like whatever type of energy. And sometimes you really need to understand how your nervous system is getting tired of a situation, and that it's really time to kind of like let it go in the right way so your nervous system can actually calm down, rather than being in this hypervigilant type of energy of the Two of Swords. Right? That's kind of like what I'm picking up on here. And then also the same energy comes through for your person in their outside energies. Like the Ace of Wands is indicating to me that you really did something to reach out for the olive branch. Like that olive branch has been given to this particular person. Okay, like to revive the passion, to revive something from the dead, right? And then the Chariot, the Six of Swords, Eight of Cups, Page of Pentacles is kind of like indicating that if they don't really hop on to that car or really get things focused towards a direction in this situation, that you may want, you may eventually need to emotionally and mentally distance yourself, physically maybe even distance yourself. And eventually you will be probably walking away because emotionally it's just not serving you, right? Because you don't want to waste your time too much. Like you want to learn from the situation and you want to proceed forward. But let's see what you don't see coming right now. Anything can change, right? Like feelings change, situations change, the cycles change, the patterns. So let's see. Okay, I see a lot of pentacles coming through. Wow, 1, 2, 3, 4. What's this for a sequel? We got literally like 4 pentacles. Starting off with the 4 of Pentacles, then the 2 of Pentacles, 3 of Pentacles, and the Ace of Pentacles. So, yeah, what you don't see coming is kind of things still being up in the air. That you may need to kind of like open yourself a little bit up to collaborating with other people, to really see outside of your current focus. Like rather than to hold on to things too tightly, it might be a good idea to kind of like leave things a little bit, up in the air, maybe. Yeah, maybe that's also like a good thing. But in a way that you're not completely stuck on the outcome of the situation, right? Like you just try to kind of like move yourself forward in the situation, try to collaborate or work with other people, stay open for other people, and see what else is kind of like out there when it comes to new possibilities of a grounding new commitments. Okay, so that's kind of like what I'm seeing here. What else for this person? Okay, we got the Hierophant. What else? The 10 of Wands, the 4 of Cups, and the 2 of Wands. I mean, this feels like someone that's just like caught up in a lot of responsibilities at this point, right? Like this is someone that has quite some, I don't want to say attachments, but they do have a ton of responsibilities. They want to or need to do things according to the book, according to maybe even like the documents that they have signed. Like they have some sort of structure in their life that is actually causing them to feel quite burdened. And because of that, I do see and sense that this person is in this energy of like, I can't have more responsibility right now, right? Like it almost feels like they're in this state of, this is not the right timing. Like I have too much on my plate, I have too many responsibilities, and I need to kind of like they don't want to be pressured in making some sort of decision. And obviously with that 2 of Swords and the 7 of Cups, you might be just tired of them not wanting to make a decision. So therefore they may be in this energy of like, well, if I just can't make a decision because of my obligation, then the best thing to do is kind of like to not make any decision, because it shouldn't come from a pressured state of point, right? So I feel like I feel like there is this divine timing that is just not the right timing in this state, and that circumstances that's outside of both your control are kind of like leading the impact of this relationship to be going into a successful direction. So it's not completely like something that you could do, right? Like it's not something that you could have changed right now, because the Hierophant does indicate that there are some things that are regulated, are by the book, and it's already being quite a heavy commitment on them. Again, it does not mean that they have like another relationship, but it could be like maybe taking care of taking care of something that could, or someone that could be taking a lot of energy. What else? What is the outcome here? Outcome or advice? Okay, we've got the Knight of Cups, the Queen of Cups, and the Page of Cups. So all of a sudden you have quite stable emotional energy. So there is going to be a point in this whole dynamic where you're actually going to be turning into a more empathic, intuitive, and emotionally more guarded as well as stable energy. Because I feel like this situation is just not giving you that stable energy right now, because the Devil is kind of like saying that it's controlling your emotions, and the future outcome is you either giving a chance to someone else, giving, opening up your heart, even if you're not quite sure where this is going to go. But I do see you really being a little bit more emotionally open to other situations in your life that could possibly lead to a 10 of Cups for you. What's their outcome? Yeah, the Tower. See, this is someone that still needs to process through a lot of guilt, shame, uncertainty, some sort of disruption and chaos. And yeah, it's like a little bit outside of your control, like I said. Yeah, and then we have the Knight of Cups, the Magician, and the Moon, while we also have the Two of Swords at the bottom. So it feels like to me that they really need to get themselves out of this heavy commotion that they are actually already entangled in, and actually kind of like move forward to manifest things that are quite uncertain for them right now. And again, with that Two of Swords at the bottom, Death at the bottom, I do strongly get the feeling that they may need to end another situation in their life before they can actually in a clean way, move forward. However, their outcome seems to be still like uncertain. So they are a little bit uncertain about how things will manifest in their life, or there is still going to be some sort of chaos that's going to be taking place in their life that is going to be like, disrupting a little bit of their emotions, of their, capability or ability to manifest something. And there is going to be still this sense of unknowing chapter waiting for them. So that's why my advice, or Spirit's advice, would be like, you don't need to be like their emotional anchor while they're trying to figure out, like if they don't even know where they stand with themselves in a current situation, then how the heck are they supposed to tell you where you stand with them? So you get my point. So sometimes things are a little complicated, and I do feel like this situation is more complicated than you maybe anticipate. Maybe you're the one also with the Two of Swords is like, I don't really care. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to know how deeply complicated the situation is. I mean, not that you don't want to know. Obviously, you do want to know, but maybe you're going to be more understanding and emotionally empathic towards it rather than trying to make it like a personal thing, right? Goddess of Oneness, someone you love is thinking fondly of you at the moment. So again, the Ten of Cups and the Star, someone around you does have still strong feelings for you. has a lot of love for you. I feel like you may need to figure out who that person is, and that's going to be like your intuitive and emotional path moving forward, to really see who really cares and who really wants to be there for you, right? That's what I have for you, Aries. Let me know how you felt about it. And yeah, was great to do this. Let's see how I'm going to proceed forward with the other signs. But thank you so much, and I'll catch you soon. Take care.